Hello, students. Good day to you all. And of course, happy to meet you in this third class of our value-added certificate course on writing effective business letters. Right. And till now, we have seen about the meaning of communication, business communication, and the process of business communication and the types of business communication. So far, just we have seen it. And today, we are going to focus on effective communication in the sense, as we seen that in a corporate world, in a business setup, so both inside and also on the outside, the people involved in communicating, and everybody want to share the information, everybody want to pass the message, whether within the among the subordinate, among the superiors, or between the customers, between the customers and suppliers, and there are so many communications being taken place. But when you want to say that every communication should be more effective. Okay, so whatever the purpose, for whatever the reason the communications are being made, so that should serve the purpose, that should achieve its own objective. Okay, so for example, when you're writing a sales letter, so ultimate purpose or aim of a sales letter is to just make the customer to buy your product, isn't it? So when you made a communication to the, or when you're sending a sales letter to the prospective customers, that must result into some positive action. Maybe considering your brand name or increasing your brand image or getting into immediate action or buying your product or making an inquiry. So anything it can be. So only then we can say that what are the communication made, those communications are more effective. Okay, so how to make it more effective? So this is a bigger challenge before any communicator in an organization. Suppose as a student, after completing an MBA program, when you are being employed in an organization, when you are when you are being asked to write some letters or make some communication tools, other things and all. So you should think that whatever the things you are going to draft, it must fetch its results. It must meet its own objectives, right? So there lies the effectiveness of the communication, and there are certain principles. If at all your communication should be, whether it is a oral communication or written communication or gestural communication, whatever it may be. So there are certain principles are there are certain rules are there that we are going to see in this particular class. Okay, so now let us see what are the principles of effective communication. There are some seven C's we call them. Okay, so we say that clarity, completeness, conciseness, completeness, courtesy, correctness, consider. That is, whenever you are writing a letter, particularly when you are writing a letter or when you are making a communication, you should ensure that all these elements are present in your letter. All these elements are present in your communication. Right. So let us see one by one in brief. Right. The first one is about the clarity of thoughts. Okay, so why I'm making this communication? What is the ultimate purpose? What is the aim? What is the objective? Okay, when you are going to write a letter, so what is the purpose of writing that particular letter? When you are writing an order letter or making an inquiry, when you're writing an inquiry, you should be very clear enough that for what purpose, for what objective this communication is being made. And also you should have a very clear idea that what is going to be communicated, what actually I'm going to get out of this particular, what do you say, what should the content of the communication that you are going to develop or that you are going to communicate. Okay, so that you must be having a very clear enough. So your objective, your content, and again, you should be very clear, you should be very, what do you say, clear of what medium you are going to select to convey your thing. Okay, sometimes a written communication or written form of communication will be more, more effective than the oral form of communication. For example, you are placing an order. Instead of just telling through the phone or making just a oral communication, only when you do through the written communication, that will be more effective, that will be more reliable, other things at all, right? So in order to have a clarity of communication, you should ensure that, so what is the objective, what is things to be communicated, and what medium will be much more suitable for you. So such clarity must be there in your thoughts, what you are going to communicate, what is the ultimate purpose of this communication. Okay, so when you're writing an appointment letter or when you're writing an application, then you should have a clear idea that why you are writing this application letter, why you are writing this meeting agenda, why you are writing this order letter, why you are writing this inquiry letter, why you are writing this sales letter. So the objective must be very clear. Only then that particular communication or that particular letter will be more effective. Okay, right. So in order to make it much more clarity in your express other things and all, there are certain things are here. The receiver learns about the idea and the sender's message only through the messages. As we have seen in the communication process, when the receiver receives the message and he decodes your message, you should have a complete understanding about the purpose of your communication. Right? So what are the things? So how it is possible? Only when you are using simple words. When you're using single words for long process, you're using words for nouns, avoid double entry, avoid jargons, avoid ambiguity. Ambiguity in the sense confusion, right? And you should not have too much of jargon words. Okay, you should not say that, okay, fourth piece of marketing. That the normal people, common people may not be understanding what is a fourth piece of marketing. They may not be understanding what is a MRP. They may not be, for example, telling you, right? So you should avoid the using jargons or poetic words or too semantically strong words. All these things should be avoided. So put together, it must be very clear. The clarity of expression must be there in your letter. That is number one principle, clarity. Number two is about the completeness. Okay, so you must, whenever you are communicating something to somebody, you should see that the letter may be very clear. The letter, the message may be very, what do you say, what are the objectives, what are the purpose, it will be very clear, in the clear, correct in expression, the expression of the letter may be very clear. But if it doesn't have the enough information, if it's not being completed again, okay, so in all aspects, okay, who is sending, what he is sending, where he is sending, when he is sending, and what actually is being expected. Okay, even if you are, for example, you are making an order, na, you just were saying that, see, so company, our company is placing an order for this particular product. Okay, it's very clear you're making a product, but unless otherwise you give the quantity of the thing, unless I will use give the what is the terms and conditions, unless I usually so who is sending the letters, if it is not so clear in that particular communication, if it is not so complete, again the effectiveness of communication will become lesser. Okay, so whenever you are writing a letter, whenever you are making communication, you should feel that all the relevant factors are included in the letter. If the relevant facts are not there, expected facts or expected information is not there, is not present in your communication, that the communication or the letter will be more ineffective. Okay, so that is the number two. You have to keep it in mind, the completeness. First one is about the clarity. Second one is the completeness. The third one is about the conciseness. Okay, you should not write a blah 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 blah. Okay, so if you write you more and more, no, automatically will create the confusion in the minds of the readers. Okay, so how far you could able to give the best? That doesn't mean that you should swallow the verse, you should cut short the best other things and all. So there must be clarity, there must be clear expression of the things. Okay, it must be easily readable. At the same time, you should not go for giving too much of information. You should not go for too much of expression. Okay, so if you are just going for using that, this and all, praising them, that is no. So all these things will make the reader will be much more bored. Okay, so as for us example, okay, how best you could able to give, how short you could able to give the, I mean, write the letters. How concisely you can write the letters. You have to write it concisely. Okay, but at not the cost of information. Please understand. You have to provide all the information. It must be complete in all aspects. But at the same time, you should ensure that you are not giving too much of stuff. You are not giving too much of what is say input in the particular letter. So conciseness is very much essential. That is the third one. So clarity, completeness, conciseness is so far we have seen it. The fourth one is right. So this is how you can make concise communication. You can give only the relevant facts. No repetition should be there. No verbosity should be there. Proper organization of message. Okay, if you are sequentially properly you are organizing the message, means then automatically that leads to the conciseness of the letter. Okay, right. The fourth one is the consideration. Okay. So as far as the consideration concerned, you should have a, I mean, whenever you're writing a letter, you should keep it in mind to whom you are writing this particular letter. Okay, accordingly you have to draft your message. Accordingly, you have to ensure that the courtesy is there in your thing. And moreover, when you are writing it, even though it is a business letter, you should have the particular what do you say tendency to appreciate the support given by the opponent party to you. How they are important. I mean, that individual is important to you. Right. So, though you are in a dominating position, but doesn't seem to that mean you should adopt certain very hard tone your what do you say thing. So that's why you have to adopt some new attitude. Always keep the opponent people as the first choice rather than saying or boasting of yourself, and try to avoid the gender bias. Okay, so normally you should not, you should ensure that there should not be any partiality, whether it's a male or female, or sometimes you should also have the discrimination that, okay, you are writing to superior, you are writing to a subordinate, you are writing to a, what is the low profile people. So all these things you should not have it. Okay, again, you have to ensure that, and in your communication, there must be some positive tone must be present there, and pleasantly you have to present the facts and all the things you have to ensure. And moreover, you have to ensure the integrity in your message. So these are things that make the consideration principle. Okay, considering the opposite, the considering the opponent to whom you are sending the letter, always try to give consideration for them. So this is the fourth principle. And the fifth principle is courtesy. Okay, so always whenever you are writing the letter, see to that the tone of the letter is always a courtesy. See, whenever you are writing some letters, no, for example, when a message is being posted in your group, and I think something it is meant for you, but you have read the message, but you are not reciprocating. Now you are you are lacking the courtesy in that particular angle. So he had sent a letter to you, he had sent a message to you, but you see think that, okay, let me ignore it. Let me message it the later stage. Okay, that isn't is a good manners, isn't it? Particularly in the business communication. Whenever you are receiving a business letter or business communication, see to that immediately you are responding to that particular letter, and you have to answer the letter much more promptly. And again, when you are using the words, other things, so you should not use irritating or offensive words. You should not use offensive expression in your communication also. And if at all you are missing something, and if the fault is on your side, always try to, you must have the manners, or you should have the courage to ask for the excuses, apologies. Okay, you got to apologize to your opponent sincerely for any omission that if you have made it. And in case the opponent person has done some favors to you, you should thank them profusely for the good things they have done to you. Okay, these are things you have to ensure when you are writing the courtesy, that is a courtesy principle. And the sixth one is about the correctness. Whatever the things we are just talking about, you should not just give any falsified data, or you should just you hire something, what do you say, misinterpret data, or without confirming some data, you should not do the use in your business communication. Please understand that. So whatever the information you are presenting in your business communication or business letter, that must be factually correct. Okay, so that must be presented in a much more suitable manner. Okay, so if it is not factually correct, or if it is placed or communicated at the wrong time, okay, and it is not presented in a suitable mode or manner also, or suitable way also, then automatically the correctness of the information may go wrong. Okay, so always you should ensure that whatever the information you are placing in the particular letter, it must be factually correct. Okay, then the last principle is about the concreteness. Okay, concreteness, again, it's all about the factual material what you are going to bring it down. So when you write one word in your letter, that must have the 100% validity. That must have a 100% concreteness. There should not be any confusion. There should not be any doubt in the minds of the receiver, whether it is right or wrong. Okay, if it is all possible only when you ensure concreteness in your message. Okay, so all the relevant material, all the relevant information that you are giving in your letter or that you are using in the letter must be, what do you say, 100% factual things. Okay, that you must ensure it. If we ensure it so, definitely your communication, whatever the communication you are making it so, okay, what are the business making it so, that will be more effective. Okay, so to put it very simple, so 7 C's are there, 7 C's of communication is there. One is about the clarity. It talks on you must be clear in delivering your message. Correctness, you have to write perfectly. Mistakes should not be there. It must be free of mistakes. Conciseness, you should be very short, but you should give complete information. Courtesy, you have to be very soft and gentle when you are writing a letter to your opponent people. Concreteness, you must be very specific. What you want to say, you have to say clearly. Okay, no extra stories, no extra blah blah. So that you must ensure. And consideration, you have to focus on the receiver, who is the opponent, how good he is, and according to him, you have to ensure that the tone of the letter, the message letter must be there. Again, the completeness, you have to give the a full, what is the information in your message. Lack of information, lack of irrelevant message may not, okay, serve the purpose and at least intersection of the text. Okay, so when you're ensuring clarity, correctness, conciseness, courtesy, concreteness, consideration, completeness in your business letter, you can say that you are writing an effective business letter. Okay, so in the subsequent classes, when we are practicing for a different business communication letter, we must ensure that all these 7 C's are present in our letter. Okay, so when you are mastering these principles, definitely whatever the letters you are going to write, that will be more effective and that will meet its what objectives. Okay, friends. Okay, so the next class we'll be having an idea of what are the components of a business letter. Okay, so the basic components, the core elements of a business letter, we can say that business letter layout. The next class that we can have the discussion. Okay, so thank you very much. So we will see in the next class with yet another things. Okay, thank you.